Yeah, 25% of it will probably be Daddy Goldblum. But the rest, we gotta talk about real shit.
We want to start this episode. Welcome to Film Topology.
Oh yes, welcome to Film Topology. I am Tyler.
I'm Adam, and this is definitely not a redo episode because we do everything right on the first take.
That's right. We are
not redoing this episode because we fucked up the audio
for any reason. And if someone tried to make me redo this episode, I would tell them to go fuck themselves.
It seems so obvious that you were gonna say go fuck themselves that I thought you were gonna throw a wrinkle in there.
It's because I really
no, you just went for it.
Well, yeah, it's because I really considered it for a second. I was like, no, go fuck themselves. That's been done. I couldn't think of anything, and I was like, oh no, if I wait any longer, it's not gonna be funny. Yeah, just go fuck yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. What are we talking about this episode? That we definitely never talked about prior because this is our first time doing it.
Exactly. Actually, I just want to take a second, something we haven't done before in the episodes. I want to welcome everybody. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you have,
fuck them. How dare you listen to us? Who are you? Why are you even listening to us?
It's true. You're
do something with your life.
It's true.
Okay?
You're literally about to wait.
Sitting on your ass, listen to a podcast. How dare you?
You're literally about to waste an hour and at least an hour and a half of your time. I would recommend you exit Spotify or whatever platform you listen on and go live.
Touch grass.
That's right. Go touch some grass. But I know you ain't gonna do it.
Sorry, I'm just saying things now. My bad.
But I know you're not gonna do it because you love film and maybe history as much as we do. So you're gonna stick around for the next hour and a half. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're ruining this.
Yep, that's what I'm going for.
If you have not already liked us, subscribed to us, followed us on whatever platform you are listening to us on, please go ahead and do so. We greatly appreciate it.
We're working on a Patreon.
Yes,
so
by the time this releases, we should have a Patreon, Linktree, some form of fan page where you guys are going to get extra content, extra interaction with the show. We want to have some people on. We're kind of toying around with the idea of a small membership fee, depending on how in depth in the show you want to go.
But if you want to give a big membership fee, we will also take that.
I will take any amount of money that you throw at me. I will also probably do things for it. It just depends on how much and what it is. So, $15 you get a striptease. That seems fair to me. It's nothing great to look at.
Yeah, mine. I'm just gonna keep it 100. You're gonna have to pay a lot more for mine.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, look at you. Look at me. I'm cheap. I don't know. I don't have as much going on.
Know your worth, man.
Sexually. But yes,
man, I think you could charge more.
But yes, absolutely. By the time this releases, we're gonna have a fan club. We would love it if everyone wanted to be a part of that. And we're not just trying to make this a ploy to get money from you guys. We really want to make.
We absolutely. Whoa! Let's be transparent. Absolutely. But in exchange, we give you amazing entertainment. Okay, you give us moolah. Yes. We entertain with our amazing personality and wisdom, movie wisdom / history wisdom. We do research, okay? We do a lot, okay?
Right.
We do want your damn money.
We do the hard research so you don't have to. So that the next time you're watching a movie we've talked about, you can just turn to the person next to you and really annoy the shit out of them when you go, did you know that Leonardo DiCaprio actually hit the glass when he did that scene? I bet you didn't know that.
Or did you know how many fucking sharks die a year or killed a year? Because Tyler doesn't.
I did. I don't. I still don't.
You're welcome.
I still don't. What was it It was
100 million.
Oh, I thought it was 2,000.
Because you said 100.
I remember. I edited that clip. I know. I remember what I said. Yeah, so you know. Yes, so
give us money.
we give us money. We want dollar bills, y'all.
I'll take coins too.
Uh, I will take doubloons. I don't fucking care. Throw some yen at me, whatever.
Hey, as long as it spends.
That's right. So yes, no, we're absolutely going to try to be starting that up soon. Hopefully, by the time this premieres, that will be ready to go. We would love to have as many people in there as possible. And just so you guys know, the membership fees, we're trying to keep it really small because we really appreciate everyone who's listened thus far. I mean, really, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and listening and having a good time talking about movies with us and everything. That membership fee, if you guys choose to become a part of the fan club, that's going to go toward, that's not going in our pocket. That's going to go to our membership fees for the programs we use to make the show. That's going to pay for our recording software, our editing software. It's going to pay for our RSS feed membership. And if we can actually get enough traction on that, we'd love to spend it, even further with how much money we put into this. We would love to actually start real deal marketing campaigns. We'd love to actually get some guest speakers who've been in the industry.
Dude, all right, hold on, real quick. I want to just do a call shot. Speaking of which, okay. One of the people who kind of solidified my love for film. Okay, I'm trying to manifest this. Okay. There's two people. I want to give credit to two people, and if we can ever get them as guests, I'll actually kind of cry because I think I made it. So number one, man, do I even want to prior? I'll give them equal footing. I love you both. Okay. Chris Stuckman. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Okay, he does movie reviews on YouTube. He's been doing it for over a decade. He loves film, and he actually landed his first director job, and he's directing his first horror movie.
Oh, awesome.
And he started, man, he had a dog shit setup initially. And if you see where he started from to where he is now, love him. He definitely kind of helped solidify my love for music or movies. And then shout outs to Jeremy Johns. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
That's a name I'm a little familiar with. I don't know why though.
He also does movie reviews, and those two people. Also, if you're listening and you heard those names, check out their YouTube channels. It's literally just Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns. Yeah, I don't know. They're really good personalities, and without them, I don't know if I actually feel pretty confident I wouldn't be doing this fucking podcast. Really, it's a combination of having a job at the movies and those people. I would watch their videos over and over because I before them I never viewed movies in a critical aspect. I just I liked it or I didn't. But they more. I don't want to throw Jeremy on the bus in that sense. He kind of gives more of a everyman perspective on a lot of movies, but Chris Stuckman really focused on technical aspects of every part of a movie that I didn't initially focus on. And without him, I don't think I ever would have. I don't know if I would have, but that's what kind of that's invigorated my love for movies.
I mean, no, that's great, man. Definitely. I mean, build people up, give them a shout out for sure. I find that interesting that you didn't really fall in love with cinema until you were
I'd say high school.
Yeah, you were in your late teens. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why. You struck me as always forever loved film. I don't know. But that's cool. Hey, you know what? Doesn't matter when you get on the train, man. Just as long as you buy the ticket, take the ride.
I didn't buy the ticket. I worked at the movies.
That's right. I didn't buy the ticket either. You got me in for free because you worked at the movies.
Yeah, I just went in.
That's right.
But no, I think it was that coupled with working at the movies and getting endless free movies.
Yeah.
I do think that's kind of what emboldened my love for film.
Yeah. You always got some free activity you can do, which is really valuable in a small town. All right. So yes, thank you. Welcome to Film Anthropology. Thank you so much for being with us. Today we are going to talk about Jurassic Park. And this is where the music cues.
Are you actually gonna put the music in? Are you actually gonna put it in?
I guess if I won't get in trouble for it, I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Probably will.
Got to pick that up with a little guy named John Williams. No, he actually doesn't own the rights to that anymore. It'll be fucking Universal coming after my ass. So we're going to be talking about Jurassic Park. Yes, the Jurassic Park, the dinosaur movie, and the impact that it had on not only cinema, the way movies are made, but also paleontology itself. So let's get cracking. If you're not familiar with Jurassic Park, I'm confused, but is a 1993 film centering around a pair of paleontologists who get called by a very wealthy entrepreneur.
Also, very attractive paleontologist. Just throwing it.
Yes, two very attractive paleontologists. Get all right, so they got to go to an island. There's dinosaurs on it. There's dinosaurs there because they were genetically engineered based off of dinosaur DNA that these scientists found, and now they've turned all the dinosaurs into attractions. It's a theme park. It's Jurassic Park, and hilarious.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I know, and yeah, hilarity ensues. I don't think that's the right way to say it. Hilarity ensues.
Yeah, I think what we probably want to talk about most is the iconic shot of Jeff Goldblum shirtless on a rock.
Oh yeah, Daddy.
That's what this episode's about, right?
Yeah, this is about
and the impact of that, just that single image
on
how that has sent
culture.
Ripples throughout our culture.
Yeah, we're going to be spending.
That's what this episode's about, right?
It can't be all about that, but we are going to be spending about 25.
It's mostly okay. Well, sorry guys, like, it's mostly about that. We'll talk about a few other things.
Yeah, 25% of it will probably be Daddy Goldblum, but the rest, we gotta talk about real shit.
I resent that. Okay, yeah. That is real shit. Have you seen that picture?
I've seen it.
All right, guys. Yeah. I'm going to talk to the editor here. That's clearly not here currently. All right, editor, I need you to put a picture of Jeff in that shot, okay? And then I think our audience will understand.
Yeah, we need to add visuals to this. Honestly, I think like when we do the episode, like that's the thumbnail. It's just him. Like, do you think
that's money?
Do you think we could recreate the Daddy Goldblum shot? You and I?
No.
We should do it, and then that's the thumbnail.
No.
It's you.
I mean, we can hold on. We can try. Yes, okay. We can try. Can we? No. That's all.
All right. I'm aware it's not going to look as good, but like,
that's all I was saying. We can try. I'm down to try.
I'm down. Let's do it.
It's just.
All right. So a little.
Picture? I feel like you haven't seen that picture recently. I don't think we get. It's so good.
I need to go back and look at it. I'll do it alone.
That's probably best, honestly.
I'll do it alone at night tonight when I'm lonely. No reason, just
I think that's probably the best time.
All right,
no, we don't. Don't cap the audience, as the kids say. Okay, there's a reason. Okay,
there's a reason. I don't need to say it.
Sexual gratification. Okay, let's just be honest.
That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that. Just a little.
Sorry.
Just a hint.
I really wanted to be hung up on this picture, though. It's a good picture.
Just a hint of
probably
my motivation.
There's a chance I could say it's probably Jeff's best picture he's ever taken in his life. Okay,
probably.
But he's taking a lot of good pictures. He's taking a lot of great pictures.
Yeah. I don't remember what the promo picture was for cats and dogs, but it's probably not.
Who remembers?
Actually, I do remember the promo picture. It was the cat and the dog, like Face Off style.
Of course, you would remember that.
I fucked with that movie hard, man. I didn't know who Jeff Goldblum was. I didn't give a shit. I was there for.
I didn't watch that movie.
Oh man, dog shit. All right. All right, diving in here. We're just going to dive in after 46 minutes. All right, so a little bit of backstory, just so you kind of know.
It's not going to be 46 minutes from their perspective. Why would you say that?
No, it's not. I'm going to edit it, but just know I've been sitting here for 46 minutes and we're just now getting into it. So, a little bit of backstory on paleontology and how it actually kind of influenced the making of Jurassic Park. Paleontology is a science that began in the 1800s. A man by the name of Richard Owen created the word dinosaur. It became very popular in the late 1800s. There were a lot of discoveries being made. There were about 50 to 100 discovered at first, and that's 50 to 100 new species of dinosaur. Then basically the 1900s come around, World War I starts, and nobody is focused on paleontology. No one's focused on dinosaurs at all.
Makes sense.
And that's kind of how it is for about 50, 60 years. Then in 1971, the CT scan was invented, and they began using it for paleontological research in the early 19.
Hey, just to be fair, that's a hard word.
Yeah,
that's a hard word. Just throw that out there.
Film. I'm trying to what's the film topology and version of that? Film topological. All right. So they begin using CT scans for paleontology in the early 1980s. In the 1980s, they started doing this, and there were a bunch of new species discovered, and it began what they called a Renaissance era for paleontology. So in the 1980s, a author by the name of Michael Crichton, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It might be Crichton, but Michael Crichton. He had done books such as Westworld, a book called Andromeda Strain. He had done some very well-received books. I don't know exactly if they were bestsellers, but he was a fairly prominent author. He also began in the 1980s a script by the name of Emergency Room. That began pre-production with Amblin Entertainment. It kind of got tossed around for a while and then just ended up not happening. And then eventually that script became the show ER.
Oh, shit.
So this guy effectively wrote ER. He was the creator of the show, more or less, which is basically the first medical show. No problem. That's basically the first medical, no Grey's Anatomy, no Scrubs, no nothing. Those are the two top medical shows: Grey's Anatomy, Scrubs. So that doesn't go anywhere, but it gets Hollywood interested in him, and it gets Amblin Entertainment interested in him. And of course, who runs Amblin Entertainment other than Steven Spielberg? Spielberg becomes very interested in Crichton's work and his projects, and so he just is like, "Hey, what else are you working on?" This is about 1990 at this point. He said, "Well, I'm really interested in dinosaurs. I'm interested in making something about dinosaurs, and I got this book, this little manuscript right here." And basically, he wrote the book Jurassic Park pretty much at the same time that he was writing the script for Jurassic Park. And Hollywood goes apeshit. They go absolutely nuts for this script. Everybody in Hollywood wants it. It ends up with Spielberg and Universal, and they're gonna do it. They're gung ho. They're gonna do this project, and they don't even know how really at first. They didn't worry about casting. They didn't worry about locations. None of it. The first thing they worried about was the art department. They were worried about exactly how they were going to make dinosaurs.
Yeah.
At first, the project was going to be a mix of animatronics and stop motion animation. So they go to a company called Stan Winston Studios. This is a company that handled animatronics for such movies as Terminator and Alien. So they were very reputable. They went with a very seasoned pro in the stop motion realm called, his name was Phil Tippett. He worked on Star Wars. He did stop motion animation for Star Wars as well as RoboCop. So
Yeah.
they get things going. They're trying to roll out, get all of, and that's the thing. Stop motion animation. They got to make a bunch of different models with different features and everything, and so they got to start roll on that before they ever start anything else in pre-production for the film, because that's so incredibly time consuming. So they kind of helped outsource all the editing for the stop motion animation because basically the problem they were running into. Let me just say first and foremost, it's Steven Spielberg. He wants this to look as real as possible, right? So the problem they were running into with the stop motion animation, obviously stop motion animation, it looks pretty jerky, right?
Herky jerky. Yep.
Perky jerky, you're not getting what's called motion blur with stop motion animation. And what that is, for some who may not know, and if you do know, I'm going to reiterate to you what it is, and you're just going to have to sit here for 30 seconds. Basically, motion blur is quite literally the blur that you see on camera in a shot in a movie that happens because someone moves very quickly within the frame. Someone throws a punch, then, that fist is moving faster. Exactly.
Motion blur.
Exactly. That the fist is moving faster than the 24 frames per second, and basically you get this motion blur with the fist going, and it just kind of looks like, you know, blurry arm going in a frame. With stop motion animation, you are with stop motion animation, the filmmakers are taking one picture, and that's one frame, and then they take another picture with whatever's in the frame like slightly moved, so it gives the implication that the object is moving. And you do that, you take 24 pictures, and that's 1 second of the film. And you can imagine that there are a lot of seconds in the runtime for a film, so you are taking hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures to accomplish successful stop motion animation. So to add the motion blur in to make it look realistic, they went with a company called Industrial Light and Magic. This is, in fact, uh, George Lucas's company. So he and Phil Tippett have worked together before, obviously on Star Wars. So they're kind of keeping it within that Hollywood circle, and of course Spielberg and George Lucas were best friends anyway. So they go to, and here's where the story takes a turn. They go to Industrial Light and Magic, George Lucas's company, to get their workers to add the motion blur to the stop motion animation to make it look more realistic. The lead for that task was a man by the name of Steve Spaz Williams. And basically, the expertise they had in adding the motion blur was all artificial. It was, digital creation. Basically, we're talking about early CGI here. So I'm trying to find the words. Steve Spaz Williams does the motion blur, does what he's supposed to, but he and his partner also go a little rogue, and they develop a little demo of a dinosaur walking, a CGI dinosaur walking. And it was just the bones, just the skeleton. They didn't add any skin or features or anything like that. But they made just a little few second clip, which I'm sure took months, of a dinosaur just walking in place. They took this little clip of the dinosaur walking as a CGI mock-up to their boss and said, "Hey, we can put this in the film. We can make it look even more realistic." and their boss told them to, in so many words, shut the fuck up, do not pursue this, let it go. Because, again, this is George Lucas's studio, the stop motion professional that is working on Jurassic Park at the time was a friend of George Lucas's. Basically, this is all Hollywood politics, is why they're told not to pursue this. They're told to let it lie, don't do anything else with it, just do the motion blur like you're supposed to. So what they did was, they had meetings with the producers and other supervisors to make sure that the motion blur they were adding in looked good, to make sure that the stop motion animation looked good for the project. So they would have the producers and their boss, everybody would come over every now and then for a check, for just a quality control check. They would show them the clips that they added motion blur to, and that would be it. They would say, all right, looks good, keep going. What they did in one of these meetings, they're in a little room, they pull up the dinosaur, their CGI dinosaur, and face it toward the door, just kind of off to the side, but they face it toward the door with the CGI mock-up going, and they just wait. They wait for the executive producer come in, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with the executive producer, Kathleen Kennedy. Fucking powerhouse producer, juggernaut. Her name has been on more shit than probably anyone else's in Hollywood. That's a stretch, but it is possible. They show it to the door. They pull up the motion blur that they're going to show them, and they just wait. Then when they come in, Kathleen Kennedy, their boss, and a few other people from the studio, they come in and they're immediately presented with this CGI dinosaur walking flawlessly. Looks absolutely perfect. So real, much more real than anything they'd seen before, because this is early CGI. No one had used this much in movies. It had been used, but never to an extent where it was used throughout the whole film. Basically, Spaz had worked on such films as The Abyss and Terminator 2, doing CGI effects for those before this. Which the Terminator 2, the liquid metal cop, all those effects, they're the guys that did that. So Kathleen Kennedy comes in, they're all taken aback. They look at it, and then next thing you know, they're getting pats on the back and saying, you have a very bright future in this industry. They get asked to do a full-scale mock-up, add the skin, add the textures and everything, extend it a little bit. They spend months doing, again, just a few seconds. This all takes a very long time to do, arguably almost as long, if not just as long, as stop-motion animation. But same amount of time, you're going to get better effects out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get asked to make a clip of the dinosaur with skin, flesh, bone, everything, walking, just to see how it looked. They do it. They bring Steven Spielberg, I believe George Lucas was also in there, Kathleen Kennedy, and a few other people to just come into a screening room and see it. And basically Steven Spielberg saw it and said, this is how we're doing the whole movie. Hollywood is never going to be the same again. And that was basically the case. So they start doing the CGI, and you kind of assume what happened, and this is kind of where it pairs with our previous episode. This almost killed stop motion animation. Almost obliterated.
Shout outs to Nightmare Before Christmas, who kind of kept it alive.
That's right. But in the meantime, Phil Tippett was out of a job. He was rendered completely useless. They're not doing anything.
A lot of people viewed it at the time before A Nightmare Before Christmas came out. They viewed it as kind of the death of stop motion animation in film.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we already kind of touched on that point. You're going to have to spend an exuberant amount of time anyway. You might as well get much more realistic, better effects out of it.
Yeah.
So we almost killed stop motion animation here, but that would not be the case thanks to a little movie called Nightmare Before Christmas that would come actually later that same year. So back to Jurassic Park. They figured out how they're going to do the dinosaurs. They get it all rolling. They cast the movie. They go to Hawaii. They're hit by a hurricane filming in Hawaii. The entire island that they were on goes into like martial law and they're shut down. They have no access to anything. They don't have any more resources. Um, Kathleen Kennedy does her boss shit. Kathleen Kennedy runs into the pilot from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and he is now who is now a pilot for Hawaiian Airlines. She says, "Hey, I need a favor." They hop on a plane with a bunch of supplies and they fly to Hawaii to give them all the supplies and make sure that they finish shooting. They do it. They somehow get it accomplished. They get the supplies. They finish shooting, and then they go into post production and complete the movie after several months. The movie premieres on June 9th at the Uptown Theater, 1993, in Washington, D.C. And then it has a full release 2 days later, June 11th, 1993. And it's kind of crazy. Like Jurassic Park, before it came out, everyone kind of knew like this was going to be the movie to go see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, there are those cases where like a movie comes out and it just becomes like a wild success out of nowhere. This is one that like everyone knew it was going to be incredibly successful, and everyone flocked to see it. I mean, the budget was 63 million. How much do you think it grossed?
I'm gonna say 1.2 billion.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm gonna say. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit at a wall.
That's not that far over. Yeah. Yeah, no. It grossed 914 million.
Okay.
So
I'm not too far off.
I mean, I don't think any movie at this point had broken that $1 billion cap. You know, this was actually when it came out. This was the highest grossing film of all time when it came out. Would you like to take a guess at which movie overthrew it?
Titanic.
Yeah, of course it was.
Yeah.
Like, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, incredible financial success, incredible critic acclaim. This movie was just a success, firing on all cylinders. Nearly killed stop motion, brought CGI into the mainstream, and movies were made completely different from then on. CGI was the standard. But let's talk about something else now. After this movie came out, there was a crazy rise in paleontologists. This movie came out, every kid that went to see it was like, yeah, I want to go dig for dinosaurs now. Like, that's it. So from 1984 to 1994, there were roughly 15 new species discovered per year. But as of according to a 2018 interview I got off of NPR, there is a new species discovered on average every 10 days.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I don't know if we are still in it, but in the teens, like the 20 teens, we've been in the what is called golden age of paleontology. And that is real shit. That is what experts in the field have referred to it as. Because think about it, like all the kids that were, you know, everyone who was a kid when they saw it grew up like 10 plus whatever years later and then became exactly that. They got their PhD and became paleontologists by the age of 30.
You know what this reminds me of?
What's that?
Are you familiar with the the Scully effect?
From X-Files?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am. Shut the fuck. That's another episode. We can't talk about that one yet.
Oh, okay. No, never mind. Edit that out.
No, but yes, no, yeah, no, exactly that. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like, I found an interview from someone at Bristol University in England. A professor gave an interview to the Guardian and said, "Yeah, like I get 30 students every year, and in every class I ask, why do you want to be a paleontologist?" And literally every single student says
The
Jurassic
Jeff
Park.
Goldblum picture,
Jeff fucking Goldblum,
right?
Daddy Jeff. That's right.
That photo
Yeah, the NBC story.
changed my
I
life.
Did you realize something that day about yourself, Adam?
He's a very attractive man.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah, no, the NBC article I found.
Much like myself.
Yes,
He was Mr. Pinecrest material.
that
For sure.
that's right.
He would have gotten it if I wasn't the very first one. If that award existed in his heyday, he probably would have got it. But
Yeah, dude, absolutely. I'd beat my meat to you.
Well, you're not the only one. That's fine.
I'd do that for you, bro. I mean that from the heart.
That doesn't change anything for me.
I just want you to love me, Adam. Yeah, no. The NBC News article that I found referring to this golden age, apparently, like whoever wrote the article even put in there that they talk about Jurassic Park and the effect it had, and in the effect that it had in spurring this golden age of paleontology. And I love that the author of the article literally put in there, we reached out to about a dozen paleontologists for this, and every single one of them cited Jurassic Park as their inspiration. So yeah, we're just living in the Jurassic Park generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that pretty much.
All right. I'm gonna throw a few shots. Okay. I'm gonna throw a few shots.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we're going through a similar age with these most recent Jurassic Park movies. If I had a hypothesis, I would say no, because I just don't think they're that good. But then again, I think it started getting kind of silly in the original trilogy as well. I think the first one was the best one.
Yeah.
And then as the movie progressed, it's like, there's just not a whole lot you can do with the concept. So they just go crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
And it kind of just becomes a dumb Hollywood movie at some point. And I think both trilogies kind of suffered from that.
Yeah.
But I do think the first one with I'll shout them out, Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, and oh my god, I feel so bad. I know there was a lot of other people involved in that movie. Those are the only two people I can remember. But
yeah.
It's bugging me. It's bugging me. I can't remember a single other person. But I'm curious if that'll. I'm super biased, right? In the sense that I've watched those movies and I just didn't get a whole lot of joy. The most joy I got out of was Jurassic World, I guess. Because that felt the most like Jurassic Park. Had like a lot of callbacks. And then I'm curious if that'll continue the Jurassic Park age of paleontology.
Yeah, it could. That's the thing. We have no way of knowing until we're, like 18 years down the line or whatever.
Future. But just if I'm looking at the movie on a subjective level, I just don't feel like, I don't know. This is kind of my what is this, jadedness coming out a little bit, but like I don't think it will, just because we're kind of it was like rehashing something that was popular like 20-ish years ago. And I do have like a pretty salty attitude towards Hollywood's inability to be original. So I just don't have a lot of love for this new Jurassic trilogy.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe it still does. Kids don't care about this shit. They don't look at movies like, Hollywood's not original. They might just fucking like it, and it might create a whole new generation. I don't know, but from my perspective, I'm definitely a lot more sour on the most recent trilogy. But it's interesting to see in the next 20-ish years if they can keep those numbers up, and if like Jurassic World and that trilogy can kind of help keep pushing that golden age forward even longer.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. One thing we didn't do, you know what? Where on your list of Spielberg movies does this fall for you? Like what number?
I need to see all his movies real quick. Oh, I actually do have it up.
Do you already have it up?
Well, yeah, you were talking about it. I kind of thought it would be worth pulling up. I'd say top 5. It's a top 5.
Okay.
Not my top one, like not even close to my top one, but definitely a top 5.
Okay.
Do you want me to try and pull out of my ass the top 5 real quick?
Ooh, that sounds fun. Yeah, do it.
All right.
Jaws.
Dude, do I want to do it in particular order? Do I have to do it in particular order, or can I just name them?
Do you have a particular order for them, or can you only narrow it down to a top?
I would have to think harder.
Right,
but I can definitely pull out a top 5 right now.
Well, yeah, any order then, for the sake of time.
All right. Jaws, definitely in the top 5. The Color Purple, in the top 5. Minority Report. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Fuck, this is hard.
Yeah. Got a lot of good ones.
I think I would say Schindler's List.
Yeah.
And then Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's still a bunch of great movies still there. But I think that's my personal top 5. I'm looking at is all of the movies he's ever made, and that's I think my top 5.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
honorable mentions. Honorable mentions. Catch Me If You Can. Lincoln. E.T. I would say honorable mention. Hook.
Oh yeah.
War of the nah, that's not an honorable mention.
I have
say War of the Worlds.
I have not seen The Fabelmans yet.
I haven't seen it either. That's his most recent one.
Yeah, but I'd be interested to see it. It's a Steven Spielberg biopic. Auto biopic.
I'm gonna be real. I haven't seen West Side Story either.
I didn't. I'm not going to.
The last one I saw was Ready Player One by him, and I thought that was a good movie. I was pretty entertained. It's just not. I don't know. He just has so many fucking great movies that, like, if I'm just, putting against his other work, it's just like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. But that's cool. John Williams delivers again. Steven Spielberg delivers again.
Hold up, I feel like you got to give your top 5.
My top 5.
I think that's
Spielberg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jaws, Schindler's List. Definitely Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm also going down. He did Last Crusade. He did War of the Worlds. Are these?
He did.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Whatever. Fucking no. He did not do Transformers. Get the fuck out of here.
Where did you get that from?
It's on his list on Google. I feel like these are also movies he's produced. Is why.
Wait, yeah. Go to direct.
Yeah,
directed. Yeah.
Jeez. But yeah, Jaws, Schindler's List, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Saving Private Ryan. Did he direct that? He directed that.
Yeah, he did. All right,
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan, I really enjoyed.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm just gonna be real to the audience, okay? That's actually one Spielberg film I have not seen yet, so
really?
I'll definitely watch it. It's not, but it's just there's so much media out there. Some slip through the cracks. That's just happened to be one of them. But yeah, I'll totally watch that. That may crack the top 5 if I watch it.
Other than that, it's probably
one more. You're at 4.
E.T. or Lincoln. I don't know. But honestly, there's one.
Yeah, pick one. Pick one.
Lincoln. I didn't. E.T.'s okay. Right, whatever. Cool. Honestly, the one that I have not seen that I truly want to see and need to see, and I feel like it might land in my top 5, AI.
Okay.
Because do you know who wrote that?
Wait. No.
That is a Stanley Kubrick script.
Whoa.
He wrote that. Okay. He wrote that before he died, toward the end of his life. He gave it to Spielberg.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he gave it to Spielberg and said, "Hey, I want you to do this."
That makes me want to rewatch it.
I
watched it. I kind of watched it when it first came out, and I was really young, and I didn't have that context.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that'll recontextualize that film for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you seen Minority Report?
No, actually, I haven't seen Minority Report. I've heard a lot of
that one. That's a fucking good one. I don't know.
Yeah, watch it.
Yeah.
Well, so I think that kind of wraps it up on Jurassic Park. I don't really have much else to say about it, other than it was incredibly impactful in a number of ways to the film industry as well as the scientific community. So I think that wraps it up. Maybe we can do a little choreographed sign off for him there. What do you think? Let's do the mega happy ending. Oh, good call. Yeah. Again, thank you so much for joining us. Please, again, if you have not liked, followed, subscribed to us, do all of it or you're dead to me. Yeah, we're going to be back real soon. I think we kind of took a bit of a 2-month hiatus here, but we really want to start getting back into it with our episodes, letting out some more clips pretty consistently here soon. We're going to be starting our fan club, the Film Anthropologists. I just came up with that on the spot. That's not the name. But
yeah, let's think on that one. Let's not question that.
I thought that was good, but whatever. So please,
let's think about it.
Fucking hate you. All right. Yes, thank you for coming to Film Anthropology. I'm Tyler.
I am unfortunately Adam, and please go touch grass at some point. Yeah?
Touch grass, watch movies. See you guys later.